I'm here to talk about Cloud City, a cloud sandbox for government services. So what's the problem we face during this hackathon is how do we provide cloud access to hackathon participants? There's such a wide range of participants taking part, from OGP engineers, other GovTech members, external agencies, even private sector, and members of the public. Right. Then, of course, if we were to just provide them with cloud access, there could be potential for intrusion or misuse, and we might lose control of our cloud resources. So what we actually needed was a way to provision cloud accounts with minimal red tape, right? We want to protect accounts against unauthorized access, ensure account governance while also allowing solution exploration, detect insecure cloud configurations, as well as account intrusion and misuse. So what is Cloud City? Cloud City is actually a cloud sandbox environment running on AWS that's managed by OGP. So on the right here, you can see that from a starting point of a master account, we're able to provision accounts in the lower right, whilst also having a log archive and an audit account. And this federated setup is essentially what we can provide to any users who want to set up a cloud environment. And it's actually in use during this hackathon by 10 hackathon teams and 32 users. Some of the features that we're able to offer to our users include multi-factor authentication. You can see here that we have a multi-factor authentication for Google Auth, or even like MacBook Touch ID for biometric access, or YubiKeys for hardware access keys. And we can enforce this for all our users. We also have central logging of all account actions by AWS CloudTrail, so we know like every single cloud account activity that's taking place during this hackathon. We also have intelligent threat detection, where there's AWS Guard Duty is able to provide automatic security oversight. Right. So, for example, any attacks launched on cloud instances such as SSH brute force or compromised instances, we can actually rely on AWS and their very advanced threat detection mechanisms. We can also detect insecure cloud configurations. So AWS has a series of rules or foundational security best practices, and these highlight all the ways in which you could be misusing your cloud environment. And what they've done is they've codified into a series of rules, and we can actually run it against all the resources that you've deployed in the cloud, and they'll give you a score and let you know where are all the gaps they think you might have in the cloud environment. So essentially, what we after solving all these problems, what we have is a cloud sandbox, right? We've managed to solve all of these issues, and where we think we can take it is that we actually want to use this as a means to empower other teams and vendors across the government or working on government projects to be able to rapidly prototype, just like how OGP is doing, right? We also think that this can be a feedback mechanism for policy. There's some work ongoing now with regards to IM8 rewrite or how we can deploy low-risk environments to the cloud. So we think that by allowing people to deploy into the cloud that's operated and governed by OGP, that we can actually accelerate the cloud revolution across the government. And lastly, we think can improve security and transparency. We can invite other teams like JITSA or other security teams to automatically receive sandbox alerts or security alerts. And that's one way that we can be sharper when it comes to security incidents across government.